What the heck was that? Yo, so as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. And also, don't forget, hype the video, please, and thank you. But Michigan just defeated Purdue 21-16. And man, oh man, this was not a pretty game for Michigan. It was not a pretty game. You know, it was mostly because Bryce is uncomfortable. And I wouldn't say it's because of the pass blocking or anything. I think it's just he's kind of hit a wall or something, I guess you would say. But so he was missing open guys, you know, trying too much, not understanding when to run, when to pass, when you're scrambling, you know, trying to trust his arm more than he probably should sometimes. And also, when he does trust his arm when he's scrambling, he's not seeing the whole the field. He's not seeing it. He's getting kind of tunnel vision, you know. But thank God for Jordan Marshall. Thank God for Jordan Marshall carrying the load and running like a man possessed. Jordan Marshall, that's a grown man right there. That boy running like a grown man. And we needed him to tonight, you know. If that run game doesn't step up, we might find a way to lose this game because we made a lot of mistakes. This game had a lot of little mistakes, mainly on offense, but defensively too. We had some mistakes, and you know, let Purdue move the ball methodically. Purdue had a 9-minute. Their first touchdown came on like a 9-minute drive. That's crazy. That's what we do to teams. You know, and they did that, but Michigan found a way to win the game. That's all that matters right now. You know, I could be really hot, but I'm not because I understand exactly why. Michigan is dinged up, just injuries everywhere. Barham gets hurt on the first series. McCulley is out. McCulley gets hurt. What's his name? Not McCulley, but Jordan Marshall looked like he was banged up. But he came back, and thank God he did. But, yeah, Michigan is just banged up, especially at linebacker position. And offensively, with McCulley going out, now you have to play Browder and some of these younger guys. And they're not ready all the way. They're just not ready all the way. So when they do get a chance, it's either Bryce is making a mistake and overthrowing one of them, or it's a drop, or they're missing an assignment. So it seems like this offense and this team just keeps getting younger and younger because of injuries. So you basically have to play some of these young guys that you weren't expecting to have to play. So let's just get into it. Let's get into it. Well, I guess we can start on offense. Let's start on offense. So early on when we were driving, Bryce had some nice scrambles. Some nice scrambles of Bryce getting out the pocket, you know, making something with his legs. I think that's something he has to do, and he has to trust his legs. Bro, you a freshman. You ain't gotta you don't have to try to make every throw and you know, try to make these throws when you're outside of the pocket like you're Lamar Jackson or whoever you want to call it. Sometimes the best option is just to use your legs. I like to think about, this is how I like to think about it. Know the down in the distance, but also know that sometimes trusting yourself is the best option for you. Just trusting your legs. Because once you get ready to pass, there's a lot of things that can happen when you're scrambling out of the pocket. You get what I'm saying? So Bryce has to learn that sometimes when it's there, just take the yards. Yeah, he was open, Cole. Just get the yards. Just get the yards. You could have got the first down. Go get the yards. Sometimes that's the best thing. You know, to not, oh, I'm trying to make this, oh, they're coming. No, you can get those yards, just get them. You know what I'm saying? Just get them, you know? So we saw Bryce get in a funk. He was scrambling good on a drive, and then he scrambles out of the pocket, and there was one defender. Bryce probably could have went around him. Or if he doesn't, it'll be like 4th and 2 probably. But he also has McCulley wide open in the end zone. So he doesn't pick any one of those. He throws it to Marsh coming across the field on like a dig, I guess you would say. And well, he was like a scramble drill. He was just trying to get open for Bryce. Bryce throws it to him and the corner jumps it. Interception. You know, so that's when it seemed like, because Bryce had already missed Browder wide open, and I think he missed somebody else on a pass, and then he throws this interception, and that's when it was like it seemed like he's getting in his head a little bit. He's thinking too much, you know, trying to live up to the hype and thinking too much, and it's just freshman mistakes. He's making some freshman mistakes, and most of us wanted him to start, so we got to deal with him. He gonna make these mistakes. He just has to grow from them. That's the thing. He has to grow from them. You know. Let's see. Yeah, Bryce was jumpy though. That's really the problem with the offense. Bryce was just jumpy. Chip Lindsey was calling a pretty good game, but Bryce wasn't seeing the field right, and then when he was throwing it just inaccurately sometimes. Whether it was high, whether it was short, you know, sometimes when the pass rush, he's not sure when to get rid of it. And so he was just making mistakes like that, and it was consistent most of the game. Then we had Jordan Marshall go 60. Jordan Marshall ran like a man, a grown man, and we needed him to. Jordan Marshall was running that ball hard all night, and it was beautiful to see. What did he finish with? 25 carries, 185, 3 TDs, 7-point yard average, and a long of 54. That'll do. We needed, and we needed every yard. We needed almost every one of them yards tonight. So that was good to see. Then McCulley gets hurt. Well, Samaj has a drop, a big-time drop. Goes right through his hands. I mean, what can you say? It's hard to keep taking up for Samaj, which I don't think he had many targets, but that was a big-time pass. You got to make that catch, bro. You got to make that catch. If McCulley's out, we're going to have to keep playing Samaj. So it is what it is. Then Marshall had another TD. Then Browder had a drop. Browder was in. He had a drop on it was a 3rd down. He caught it. I think it was a catch. I actually think he caught it, fumbled, and recovered it. But on the field, they say they didn't count it as a catch. I think it was actually a catch and a fumble. Either way, we wouldn't have got the 1st down because he had the 1st down, fumbled the ball backwards, and then he recovered it himself. And so it would have been like 4th and 2 or 3. But it didn't matter because they called it incomplete. Then later in the game, we do a flea flicker with a big play. So we do a reverse flea flicker to Zach Marshall. But Bryce doesn't even see that Andrew Marsh is mega wide open. He's mega open. He wide open. That boy wide open. So he's wide open. Bryce, I don't know if Bryce didn't trust the throw or didn't see him. I don't know which one it was. But the thing about it is, football, when you miss out on touchdowns, you never know what else is going to happen. Because you had a touchdown, schemed open perfectly. You had a touchdown. You went for a big play that wasn't the touchdown. And then the next play, Bryce runs around the edge on a design QB run, makes a guy miss, is fighting for extra yards, and he fumbles, and it goes out of the end zone. You see what I'm saying? So when you got your shot, when you've got that wide open shot, take it, you know? But he went with the safer throw for him, I guess, at this moment, because he was so inconsistent today that he took the safer throw, which was to Marshall, which was a nice gain. It was. But Andrew Marsh was in the end zone wide open on that play. But then Bryce runs around the edge, he fumbles, you know, and that's just more freshman mistakes. Like, and this isn't me trying to, it's okay for Bryce to make mistakes. It isn't, but that's going to come with it. He's a freshman QB, so he has to work on his ball carrying. When he's out of and that's no pause. We talking football. So when he's carrying the ball, he has to have it secure. That's just something he has to work on. But he's still a freshman, so he's going to make things like this are going to happen. You know, it seemed like every time I was watching this game, it was like, man, Bryce is first it started with, man, they need some easier throws for Bryce. Then we got a few. And then it was, man, Bryce gets in a funk again. He throws the pick. And it's like, man, they need to run Bryce. Then a few plays later, he runs around the edge and fumbles. Like, oh, at least we on the same page, Chip Lindsey. At least we both seeing it. And then it's like, okay, what can I do to help this young kid out when the game is just moving too fast for him sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I liked it, but this is the thing I like. I like that things that I'm seeing Chip Lindsey was seeing and making adjustments. Like, okay, Bryce needs to run it more. Okay, we give him the chance to run it. We get good yardage. He fumbles. Okay, now I got to cut. Now I got to take even more of the playbook away because I can't trust his ball security, and this is a close game. So it comes to the point where it's like, all right, I'm about to run Marsh. I'm about to run Marshall. I'm running him all night. The rest of the night, you're handing it off to running backs, Bryce. Whether it's Marshall, whether it was Kuzdal, and shout out to Kuzdal because he came in and he had some nice runs when we were trying to kill the clock also. But yeah, offensively, it was mostly Bryce making mistakes or not seeing the field or just not passing it accurately, you know, and then not being decisive in what he wants to do and knowing the down and distance. Take what they give you. If the defense allows you to run out of the pocket and you can pick up 5, 10, 15 yards, take it. If you're scrambling out of the pocket and you look at Zach Marshall and he's open, but you can run to Zach Marshall without getting touched, run the ball. Run the ball. You get what I'm saying? At this point, run the ball in those situations. But then we look back, he fumbled. So Bryce had the offensive coordinator and Sharon in a vice tonight that just kept getting tighter on what you could do for him. Where it gets to the point where just run the ball. Just hand the ball off to Marshall. Because in Marshall, we trust tonight. In Marshall, we trust. So that's about it for the offense, honestly. It was not, the pass game was not good, but the run game was pretty good. As long as they kept running it, it was pretty good. We went for 253. So that's about it for the offense. Defensively, Michigan was playing. They gave up the first drive, and then I think that was the second drive, but they played pretty good for the most part. It was just some of these third downs they couldn't get off the field, a few fourth downs, and Purdue just trying to play methodical, trying to beat us with our own game, I guess you would say. Methodical, long drives, bringing in a different quarterback to run the ball, you know, um, just having good schemed plays. Like and shout out to Jake Butt because he pointed this out also. Their offensive coordinator, he was slick cooking. He was slick cooking Wink for a nice part of this game. You know, when Wink would blitz from the weak side, he'd run it to the strong side. Things like that, where him and Wink were having a little chess match, and he was winning it sometimes, you know. Derek Moore had a sack early. Barham gets injured early. Then Derek Moore has a strip sack. I think Bryce fumbled. This is when Bryce threw the interception that drive. Hausman was playing lights out. Hausman was playing pretty lights out. He still got caught up in the wash a few times, but he's really starting to be who we expected him to be. He lit up a wide receiver screen, lit him up, you know. Penalties, we had a few penalties. TJ Metcalf, a few offsides, guys. These D linemen, I don't know why these edge rushers aren't watching the ball. You know, they aren't watching the ball, and when you don't do that, when you're trying to anticipate and jump, penalties are there. So we saw a few of those. TJ Metcalf not finding the ball one time. Then I think we had Jair Hill caught a defensive pass interference also in the end zone, which helped them score on a drive also. But Barham's out, so that made us even thinner at linebacker and on the edge. You know, these injuries are just stacking up on us. Like the better Michigan looked like we were playing the past couple games, and then it took a step back with the injuries. The injuries are just piling up. Like it's like we can't catch a break with these injuries. Let's see. Zeke Berry, I like Zeke Berry. Zeke Berry was balling slick to me for the most part. Zeke Berry had a pretty good game. A few knockdowns. TJ Guy had some nice plays here and there. But other times, I don't know if I think TJ Guy lost weight. I don't know if he was sick. I don't know what it was. But I think it's affected his play overall coming into this year. I'm not sure why he lost weight or what it was with that, but he lost contain a few times in this game, which I wasn't happy to see. No, I mean nobody's happy to see that. But he lost contain a few times. You know, Ryan Brown, he was making some plays. Like Purdue was really trying to believe that they could beat Michigan, and honestly, they could. They had the opportunities to do it. You know what I'm saying? But they just couldn't finish it. The defense wouldn't let them get close enough. You know what I mean? So cuz we go up 11 in this game, and then they do march down the field. I think we got a few penalties, but they marched down the field and score a touchdown. Mason Curtis intercepts the 2-point conversion, and then Jordan Marshall and Kuzdal basically run out the clock, running it down their throat. But this was more of a. The game was really the game became close because the offense wasn't doing anything. Like that's all it was really, you know. Defense played a pretty good game. Like 16 is about what I expected them to score. I just expected us to have 35 or 38, but it just wasn't there with with Bryce just struggling like he is. You know, we got a bye week. This bye week comes at a great time because Bryce, honestly, he needs it. They need to settle him down and to, you know, just get him back settled in what we're trying to do. But also to get some of these other receivers comfortable. Because I like what I saw I like Browder. I mean, he was wide open on the skinny post, I believe that was, or post route. Bryce misses him. Oh yeah, I missed this. On that pass to Browder, Bryce tried a no look pass. He was looking over here because it's Michigan. You can see where the quarterback is looking. Shout out to Al Borges and those dudes over there, Sam Webb and them. But you can see, if you see the replay, you can see Bryce is looking like this, but he throws it almost straight ahead, trying to hit Browder. He does one of these. Like, he wasn't looking. That was a no-look pass. He wasn't looking at Browder. He probably saw him in his peripheral, but his head was turned almost away from him. Like, he's looking over here. Browder is like here. And Bryce does one of these. Don't do that. Don't do that again, boy. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. That's a no-no for you. What have I been saying all year? What have I been saying all year? Do it right first. Do it right. I need to see you complete about 10 of those posts to Browder before I see you even try to think about something like that. Do it right first. Do it right. Now, I know somebody else, well, he was trying to keep the safety. Do it right. You look a guy off, but then you come back to it and throw it the correct way. Not looking this way and then one of these. Don't do it. Do it right first. Do it right first. And I hope they ain't letting you get away with it in practice. Do it the right way first. You know what I'm saying? That was a touchdown. If he hits Browder in stride, it's a touchdown. But he didn't even get the chance to catch it because he threw it too far ahead of him. Look at your receiver when you're throwing the ball. Look at him. I get it, you can hold the safety, but turn back and make the throw correctly. You're not on that level to be trying that stuff in games yet. You're just not. I know somebody's going to say, oh, Johnny, if he completed it, well, when he completes it like that, let me know. Then I won't get on him. But he didn't. So, offensively, that's the story. Chip Lindsey called a good game. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line blocked pretty well for the most part. For the most part, they gave up some. They let some guys through sometimes, and Bryce had to run for his life a few times, but it wasn't crucial like that. Like, Bryce could drop back and throw it. It's just, he was in a funk. So, it is what it is. Special teams, Samaj is still killing me. Samaj is still killing me back there with punts. Catching punts where he should call for the fair catch. Returning punts where he should call for the fair catch. Letting punts drop and then it rolls 20 some yards. If you come up and catch it, we've got great field position. But since you didn't and it rolled 25 yards, now we've got bad field position thanks to you. Solely because of you. He's just got to get better. This game was a real headache because defensively, they were stopping them for the most part. When they did get off, when on these other drives, we were stopping them. It's just you giving it back to the offense, and can I call a pass play? I'm kind of scared. I don't know if I want to call a pass play, and that's what it was coming down to. But yeah, special teams is killing me with Samaj returning punts. even Marsh a little bit returning kicks. You know, both of them are kind of working my nerve to say the least. But this was a game where, what did I say? Get up and get out early. We didn't do that, and we definitely paid the price for it with a bunch of injuries. You know, so we're chugging along. We just chugging along. Like, ain't no style points. Style points aren't needed. We're just trying to win the game. When Marshall scored that touchdown to go up 21-10, it was like, okay, let's just get the heck out of here. Let's just get out of here. Because this is ain't no telling what's gonna happen. Let's just get out of here. You get what I'm saying? So that was the thing about today, you know. Defensively, it was kind of what I expected, even though the defense is dinged up. You got so many guys out in nursing injuries, and it's just like, bro, we just win the game and let's get out of here. You know, we need this bye week so bad. We need this bye week. It comes at a perfect time because we are licking our wounds. These boys are dinged all the way up. Like, it's just crazy. So we got a bye week, then we got Northwestern, I believe. So we going. All I can say was we can just chugging along, and coming out of that bye week, you got to have Bryce where he needs to be. He has to be able to hit some of these open passes and be comfortable. You have to get this guy comfortable, especially going into these last 3 weeks with Northwestern, Maryland, and then OSU. So that's all it is. But thank God for Jordan Marshall. Thank God for him. Whoo. Because if he wasn't there, ain't no telling how this game could have went. We needed him to run the way he does, running like a man amongst boys and not quitting. He had, and I skipped over this somewhere. He had this was the run to go up 21. He's in the pile, and it looks like he's about to go down. Like, everybody's on him. This dude comes out of the pile with a dude on his leg, kicks him off. Boom, get out of here. I smell sex. What you smell? I smell victory. I'm hungry. Let me get out of here. Get off of me. Get off of me. Victory. You know, and it was just beautiful, bro. Like, we need you to run hard, and he's ready to do it. So, shout out to Jordan Marshall for he saved us today with Bryce being in such a funk. He saved us. Like, this was a game that I wouldn't some other years before 2021, I guess you would say, like Maniac likes to bring up. This is a game Michigan might lose, for real, you know. But I never really got that anxious because it just seemed like that feeling that I get, it just felt like we're going to win it. You know what I'm saying? But it was just so many mistakes. Penalties, injuries, drops, overthrows, underthrows. You know, the only thing that was consistent was the run blocking and Jordan Marshall and Kuzdal running the ball. So, shout out to those boys carrying the load. And, you know, Bryce just got to keep working and getting better, bro. Like, it ain't much to say about it. You just got to get out of your own head and just play the game, bro. Just play the game. You know, just play the game. If you have to run the ball to get first downs, and that's how we matriculate down the field, so be it. You don't gotta be Patrick Mahomes already. You don't have to be Lamar Jackson already, or whoever you want to call. Just move the ball. I don't care how you do it. Just move the ball, bro. You don't have to run up to the line. Oh, I see a guy. Now, if you can do it and execute it, fine. But if not, get the yards that you can get. Trust in yourself. And you're not going to, this isn't like you're a junior or a senior. If you have to run that rock to move the ball, run it, you know. But take care of the ball, you know. You don't have to try to make these throws at the line and stuff. They got to get him to understand, take what the defense gives you. If you don't feel comfortable making that throw, or if it's a tough throw on the run, and you got positive yards that you can get, take the positive yards. You know what I mean? So I got the press conference on. I can tell Bryce is a little upset with himself, and he should be. You know what I mean? He should be upset with himself because he knows he can play better, and we all know he can play better than that. But he's got to let the game come to him. Don't force the game. You got a lot of time to put up great passing numbers. Just take whatever they give you. This is college. The NFL just wants to see that you can make plays, whether it's on the ground, whether it's on the ground, whether it's through the air. They just want to see that you can make plays and make good decisions. Making smart decisions, that's the biggest part of being quarterback. Understanding what you have to do, the down and distance, what throws to make and when to make them, and when to use your legs to move the ball. That's all it's about. So this was a growing pain, but luckily it wasn't a growing pain with a loss, because that would have been embarrassing and we would have had to hear folks talking stuff. Right now, what I say, let's just keep chugging along. That's all I care about, is getting to the next game, winning the next game. Whether it's by 1, whether it's by 25, let's just keep winning. We're at 7-2 now. Some other teams that want to talk stuff to us, they just lost again. They're 3-6. So we just want to keep winning. With players injured, half the defense, whoever, the starting receiver out, let's just keep winning. However we got to do it, scrape it together, get that win, and let's move on to next week and try to do it again. So that's all I got for this one, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, and hype the video. And as always, go blue.